Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Today is Friday, August 11th, 2023. Today's topic, the five. For us, this will be fun. Kind of copies our show or the Heis Hockey article from this morning. A lot to say. Got to jump right into it. No hanky-panky this morning. First of all, nobody is perfect. As players start to make the transition from youth to junior levels of play to college hockey, it's very important to avoid mistakes that could easily cost any prospective student-athlete an opportunity. How do you avoid making mistakes? How do you make sure you navigate through the recruiting process smoothly? A good start point is informing yourself extensively. Goodness gracious, I need coffee. We are off to a slow start this morning. Too much to say in 15 minutes. Having a good understanding of the system and the way it works, be a big help. 5 mistakes. Are you ready? 1, running late. Across the board, most hockey players start way too late with the whole recruiting process. Your junior year of high school, that's when the process should begin. But if you don't know what you want to do when you're a junior in high school, you run into that problem quite a bit. Kids get taken back a bit when I say, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? Look at me like I'm stupid. All right, maybe I am. But if they don't know what they want to do, they got to really start thinking about it. Because where you play junior hockey kind of determines where we want you to go to school. So if you're aiming at a certain type of school in a certain degree field, you want to make sure that you're going to be playing hockey in a place that makes sense for that school to recruit from. Just the way it works. It's all about timing, and you want to be ahead, not running behind. Easy enough. Number 2, unrealistic expectations. For starters, every student has the right to dream, but very often there's a large gap between reality and the dream. Say you're a 3.5 GPA student. You got a 1200 on your SAT. Athletically, you're good for 16 AAA. You work hard, good results, but you're not leading the team in scoring. You're not the best defenseman, the plus minus. Your goalie save percentage is 890. It's okay, but it's not really Division I material. I want to play NCAA Division I hockey, but have you considered other divisions? No, I want to play only Division I. That's a problem and a huge mistake. Not only are you wasting time chasing a dream that probably is not realistic, it's almost impossible. And you're overlooking opportunities at D3 and ACHA D1. Talk to your coaches, family, be honest with yourself, and try to really understand your level of play. All right, goalies are weird. We all know this. Goalies can be 880 in high school. They can have a sub 900 first year of junior hockey. They can do 910 the second year. And then go to 20 year and have nothing lined up. Stop 93% of the shots they're facing, and they get a full ride. That's weird. That's goaltending, especially if they do that at a high level of play. You're not going to do that from the 3HL or a pay-to-play league, most likely not. But if you're in the North American Hockey League, the BCHL, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and you're put up a big number, USHL, 930, 940, you're getting a full ride. If you have the academic chops at all, just the way it is. It's a goalie. Now, if you score 100 points, yeah, you probably are going to get a good opportunity. But those are rare occurrences, aren't they? Academic expectations and realistic assessment of how strong you are in school is a big part of this. How much can you afford to pay for college? That's a big problem. If your parents won the lottery, $1.5 billion, and they can send you to any school you want to go to, great news. But that's not the reality for the bulk of our clients, bulk of our followers. So the reality is for most people, or normal people, that you're going to need some type of financial aid. So how well you do in school will be a big factor in that. And sometimes picking the school will be a big factor. You may get a Division I opportunity, but it's going to cost you $45,000 a year because they have no money for you. Does that make more sense? Or going to a D3 school that ultimately is going to cost you $10,000 a year? It's a big difference. Don't be stupid. Money is real. It's not monopoly money. It's your money ultimately. You don't want to get out of school and be $1 million in debt. That doesn't do anybody any good. $500,000, $250,000. You know, when you're dealing with six figures, it's all going to hurt. Don't get yourself into that trap. You want to spend all your money on academics. There are opportunities to go to a 2-year school for a fraction of the cost. Get all your prerequisite classes taken out. Now you still have 3 years of NCAA eligibility at D3 afterwards. Not a bad route to take. Next is a lack of attitude and dedication. Third most common mistake. Did anyone say getting recruited is not hard work? Either that's a lie or the person was tremendously blessed. You should understand that studying for academic tests, researching schools, managing your eligibility, talking to coaches, taking the right classes, and submitting all your applications are a part of the process. What hurts the most is when recruits display a complete lack of dedication to that process. It's your future. Don't let mommy and daddy do it for you. I'm not going to do it for you. I have yet to submit a single application for a player. Just not doing it. It's not my job. It's yours. Coaches sense your attitude, passion. And if they have to choose between a player that has that passion and one that doesn't, they're going to pick the kid that has it. That's all there is to it. So it's your choice whether you inform yourself and whether you are not on top of things or not. It's your choice whether you research the school that the coach is about to call you. So when he asks you some questions, you know what you're talking about. You don't sound like a blooming idiot. Pretty important. Keep in mind, ultimately, it's a coach's choice whether he or she will recruit you or not. Next, lack of communication skills. Where's Sonia? My kid is horrible at communicating. She's an amazing singer. Really good student. Cannot communicate. Doesn't like it. Thinks we can text all the time. Hard to get a good conversation out of her when she's not hacking like a crow. This crazy wide open mouth laugh that drives me nuts. That's her. With her friends, she's great. With us, she's okay. With the general public, she's horrendous. Again, she can sing like a amazing singer. But when it comes to talking, she's awkward. Don't fall into that trap. If she watches the show, I'm toasted. She's going to kill me. Lack of communication skills related to the above is the way you communicate with coaches. Do you respond to their emails and phone calls right away? Or do you let a few days pass before you get back to them? Goodness gracious, I get caught up in this too. I probably get at least 100 emails a day. Probably the same number of phone calls and texts. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. It takes me a day or so to get back. But I try to get back to everybody. As a hockey player, your load of communication isn't as crazy as ours. So you should get back to a coach within 12 hours. Do you keep coaches informed about what you're doing off the ice? If you're in communication with the college coach, he wants weekly updates, give him weekly updates. Not difficult. Let him know what's going on. Let him know how you're doing on and off the ice. Do you write messages in a polite manner, or are you borderline rude? There's my daughter again. She's rude. She was rude last night. Don't be rude to coaches. Probably a really good way to get your big red X put next to your name on the list. Lastly, delaying decision making. This is a tough one. The last big mistake people make is a scenario where they have one or more offers, but they don't accept the offer. Instead, they keep shopping around, hoping to find an even better offer from a school. Here's what happens. Say you lost out on a chance to play at such a school because you were hoping to find something better. In the end, you enrolled in a school playing on a team you like less. And on top of that, the costs per year are higher than you could have gotten somebody else. That would stink, right? You had it all there, but you thought you could do better. Get this every year. No, coach, I don't want to go to that school. I want to go live in North Dakota. Okay, North Dakota's a bit extreme. No palm trees, no beaches. Great schools. In order to not make that mistake, it requires you to have a rock solid understanding of your level of play, how strong you are academically, and what you can expect from the recruiting process. The good news is that you don't have to go through this process alone. Don't do it blindly. If you don't know what you're doing, it's kind of like jumping into a Ferrari. You may be able to get the Ferrari in gear and start running down the road, but you don't know how to drive a stick shift. You're probably going to have some problems. Same thing happens during this process. We are able to help our clients navigate their way from high school and youth hockey to college and pro hockey with a high level of success. If you'd like to know more about what we do, give me a call. Tommy, I pulled it off. That's it for today, folks. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your morning coffee. Have a great weekend.